So does the Trump campaign or anyone involved in the Trump campaign have anything to do with this?
No, that's another thing. The liberals like, oh, you just do what Donald Trump wants. If you're saying that about me, then you don't know me pretty well. You don't know me all that well. That's not the president has nothing to do with this campaign. If he wanted to be a part of the lawsuit, I wouldn't say no, because I think I supported the president. I think he's done an unbelievable job for this country, and I'll tell you, he hasn't been given a fair shake. Not at all.
Oh, definitely
not at all. And that to me is a travesty. And I'll tell you, like, I don't want to get too off topic, but seeing the shift in how the media treated President Trump for 4 years to now how they're treating Joe Biden is sickening, and they're shameless.
You see what they've been saying?
Ridiculous.
They said Donald Trump, they all have this new line they're pushing where they said Donald Trump was like drinking Tabasco for 4 years.
I saw. Yeah, they keep using that line.
Joe Biden is like sipping unflavored almond milk. And my response was actually Joe Biden is like when you're like really thirsty. So you like go to the fridge and you're like, maybe after a workout, and you open the fridge and there's nothing in there, just milk. And you're like, just drink the milk. You grab it, you crack it, you start chugging it. And all of a sudden you notice something thick and you're like, wait, there's a chunk in there.
Yeah.
And you pull it down and you go,
gross.
oh, it's spoiled. And then you run to the sink and start barfing all over the place.
Gross.
That's like
gross.
Biden. But that actually is the perfect analogy. The people who voted for him not realizing what he was. And now what
there was a poll
get.
There was a poll that came out today that said something like, gosh, I couldn't quote it. But
was it? There was a Newsbusters poll.
Yes, about like
if
50% of the people didn't know about the Hunter Biden story, and if they knew about it, 9% of the people would shift their vote away from him. And then that's a real problem.
But not even that. They didn't know the record economy. They didn't know about energy independence. They didn't know about the peace deals. They didn't know about the troop withdrawal. And when presented that information, they all said, "Oh, I would have voted for that." So the media keeping all of that, not reporting on it, was helping Joe Biden. We all knew it was helping Joe Biden. We said it was helping Joe Biden, and there you go.
And look, people are treated like they're conspiracy theorists if they're suspicious of an election. Now, look, we've never done mail-in ballots on the scale that we've done
Universal.
in this. It's the first time it's ever been done. President Trump is more popular today than he was in 2016. 10 million more people voted for him, Tim. He did better with African Americans. He did better with Latino Americans. If you told me in 2016 that President Trump was 10 million more people were going to vote for the guy, but it wasn't going to be enough because Joe Biden was going to get 80 million votes, are you kidding me?
Are
you kidding?
Look, 11 million more than Obama. That's crazy.
At the height of his popularity.
Right.
And I'm sorry, President Obama, and look, again, like people make the mistake of thinking like I'm a blindly partisan guy. President Obama, it was a movement, right?
Oh, definitely.
People
I voted for him.
People loved President
Yep.
Obama. Don't tell me for a second that Joe Biden was more popular than President Obama at the height of his popularity. People can see things. People can connect the dots on their own and draw suspicions.
The argument there is though that it's actually no one cares about Biden. They were voting against Trump. So
that's what they say, but that's what the media says, Tim. But I don't buy it because
yeah, I don't either.
Well,
not completely at least.
A dislike of President Trump doesn't drive like 80 million people to the polls. Now here, so people are seeing things like this. So in Allegheny County,
that's Pittsburgh, right?
85% of which is 85% of Allegheny County, north of the city of Pittsburgh, is in my district. Now, Joe Biden got the second highest voter turnout in Allegheny County in the history of this country. Second only to Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964, okay, when 30% more people lived in Allegheny County.
Wow.
30% more populous, but he got the second highest vote total, just a couple thousand votes. I mean, so people are rightfully suspicious of that process, and then you combine that with mail-in voting, and it makes people wonder, like, 70 plus million people in this country. And this is part of the reason why this lawsuit is so important. Because if we don't set some parameters to our electoral system in this country, right? 70 plus million people in this country will never trust an election again.
I don't think they will. I think we're at, I'm seeing people say, there's some people saying don't vote Republican in Georgia.
Yeah, I know.
Because the Republicans aren't supporting Trump. Then I'm seeing other people say, no, don't give up. You have to stop them from taking the Senate. But a lot of people are just saying, why? If they cheated now, they'll cheat then. What's the point?
Well, so the point is, number one, we can't allow that to happen because our country means something. Our country is the greatest benevolent force that's ever existed on the face of the planet. Our country is a bright beacon of hope for people. I want my kids to grow up in a country that is rich with opportunity, and vibrant and free, like a country that I had when I was a kid. I want my kids to be able to put a skate park in their freaking garage if they work hard enough, right?
Oh, yeah.
I want that for my kids, but right now that's at risk. And so,
Yep.
People are like, it's funny how like people treat me like, I think publicly, at least the left, like I'm just some sort of run-of-the-mill politician that like would love to make a career in government. Like I've got a pretty great life in the private sector. The president called me off the sidelines. Like when, serving the people of the state of Pennsylvania or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania or the people of PA 17 would be the greatest honor of my life. I'm in this for service, right? Me winning a congressional seat in Western Pennsylvania means a pretty significant pay cut for me. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this to serve the people.
And
right?
you have served.
And I have served. And here's the thing, Tim. The point that I'm building to is that the people at this point in time in this country don't have a choice. We have to fight. Because if we lose those 2 Senate seats in Georgia, this country will never look the same again. You can bet that the Democrats will pack the court. Why? Because they've said they were going to pack the court. You can bet that the Democrats, with control of all 3 branches of government, will add 2 more states. Why? Because they've said they were going to add 2 more states.
And they want to make sure Republicans never win again.
Absolutely. You could bet that the Electoral College will go away forever. Why? Because they said the Electoral College will go away forever. We have to win those 2 Senate seats in Georgia. And if we win those 2 Senate seats in Georgia, I think we'll likely pick up more seats in 2022. But in the meantime, we have to fight to protect our electoral system, so make sure that people have faith in them. So, yeah, I'm willing to get up on the parapet and take shots from Republicans and Democrats because, the Republicans are mad at me because the PA state legislature that passed Act 77 were largely Republican controlled. And again, I don't think they knew that it was unconstitutional. I think that they were just trying to make the system better.
I don't know if I agree. If they started the process and then backed off of it, sounds like they knew it was unconstitutional. It sounds to me like they went, hey, wait a minute, we need an amendment. We're not going to be able to pass this amendment because no one's going to approve of it. So just ram it through.
Well, what they did,
that is damning evidence.
We make the distinction in our lawsuit is that they changed the name from absentee to mail-in, right? So, but what they did was make a distinction, and we make this case. They made a distinction without there being a difference, if that makes sense, right? So
yeah, they just claimed a distinction, but they're the same thing.
And so the idea is, and so I'll also make another point, and this is a message to the if Act 77 is in fact deemed unconstitutional, and I really hope and pray that it will be. President Trump was the first president to win the state of Pennsylvania since Ronald Reagan.
The first Republican?
Yes. Yeah, the first Republican to win since Ronald Reagan. And after 2016, between 2016 and 2020, Republicans in the PA state legislature said, you know what, let's just change the whole system, right?
It's the weirdest thing. If there was some structure to our electoral system in Pennsylvania, right?
I think President Trump still wins. I don't think Attorney General Shapiro wins. I think I win. The mail-in ballot program, and here's another thing. I don't think that the Republicans in the PA state legislature expected Governor Wolf to remove every safeguard that makes mail-in voting safe. I think that's a very important point to make. He removed the deadline. He removed the postmark requirement. He removed signature verification. He watered down the integrity of the ballot so much that how could you possibly verify who's sending in the vote is the person actually voting? And so, yes, Tim, people are rightfully skeptical of this election, and I don't think that's a problem or a conspiracy theory.
Well, there's a lot of evidence that fraud occurred. There's a lot of evidence of irregularity. There is, according to the Voter Integrity Fund. Have you heard of these guys?
Yes.
According to them, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but what they're asserting is widespread voter fraud. That they found in Georgia 1,000+ votes that had commercial addresses with apartment numbers listed to trick essentially the system into thinking these non-residential addresses were actually residential. Sounds like that person should not like is not a real person voting. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.